Hello, welcome to Half Hour to Health. I'm Dr. Dietrich, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about achieving maximum health while defeating diseases. We're going to find out today, what is the primary cause of cancer, heart disease, and strokes, just to name a few in America today. Now, whether you are 9 or 99, this information that you'll receive today will impact your health and well-being. Also, what is the missing link in nutrition today for health and longevity? Well, you're going to find out here in a minute, because I have with me Jade Butler today. Jade is a board-certified healthcare practitioner. He's also a medical investigator, and he's an author, nutrition author. And Jade is going to explain to us today, after years and years of research, what he believes the common causes of westernized degenerative diseases in America today. So stay tuned, because we have some valuable information to give you. Jade, welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Dietrich, and I'd also like to thank your listening audience for tuning in today and taking an active and participatory role in their health and well-being.
Well, I sure appreciate you flying all the way out here to see us today and give us this information to the community and to the people in the Bay Area. And I want to start off with, let's just jump right into this. We have so much to talk about, and I'm excited to have you here. So let's just get right into westernized degenerative diseases. What do you believe, actually, is the common link here?
Well, first of all, let's define westernized degenerative diseases. Westernized degenerative diseases are the diseases that are killing more Americans than any other thing in the nation today. And we call them westernized diseases because here in the westernized United States, we have a higher prevalence of these diseases than any other industrialized nation in the world. These are diseases that we must shamefully proclaim as our own. The interesting thing is that these diseases have only existed in such magnitude for about the last 100 years. And what kind of diseases am I talking about? I'm talking about heart disease. I'm talking about cancer. I'm talking about stroke, diabetes, arthritis, and allergies such as asthma. And there's a common nutritional link to all of these diseases, not only these diseases, but over 60 diseases and illnesses. Now, I'm not going to suggest what we're going to be talking about today is the only link to these diseases, but it's the only single common denominator that is shared amongst an entire 60 diseases and illness.
Powerful. Extremely powerful. So what do you believe this factor is, this missing factor? You say there's one nutritional factor that could be added to our diets that could give us betterment of health?
Yes, what we're finding, Dr. Dietrich, is there's a gross deficiency of a very, very valuable nutrient in our diet. And this is a nutrient that used to be fairly abundant in our diet, and it is described as an omega-3 fatty acid. Now, this is a lipid, and it's a form of nutrient that is absolutely essential to our health and well-being. In fact, it belongs to a classification of essential nutrients. And omega-3 is defined as one of these essential nutrients. We have 49 known essential nutrients in 4 categories. We have vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids. And it's in this classification of essential fatty acids, these essential omega-3 fatty acids that we're going to be talking about today. In fact, prior to 100 years ago, we used to get these omega-3 fatty acids naturally in our diet. Along comes the industrialized revolution. With the industrialized revolution came the processing of foodstuffs. No longer could we go down to our corner market to pick up fresh fruits and grains and unrefined foods. We went from a local distribution of foodstuff to national and global distribution of foodstuff. And what these food manufacturers found is that these valuable, essential omega-3 fatty acids, because they're living foods, much like a fresh vegetable, a fresh fruit, they could not put these in their processed foods. They had to literally take the omega-3s out of foods so that they could extend the shelf life of these foods from 1 to 2 years.
Amazing.
So we're suffering from a deficiency in the last 100 years, and there's a perfect correlation between the removal of these omega-3 fatty acids from our diet and the subsequent rise in degenerative diseases in our country.
So then how common is this deficiency in our society today? I mean, is it that prevalent that it's noticeable? I mean, actually people are getting diseases because of it, just for this one nutrient?
Well, we've discussed the fact that we have 49 known essentials. And by an essential nutrient, this is a nutrient that we must get in our diet. We have to intake this in the foods that we eat or via nutritional supplements. Of the 49 known essential nutrients, the single nutrient that we're most deficient in is omega-3 fatty acids. If I can give a brief demonstration. If this is related to how much, or this is related to how much of the omega-3 fatty acids we're getting in the diet today. This is corresponding to the amount of omega-3 fatty acid we should be getting in our diet today.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying this is what we ingest on a daily basis. I'm just showing this that we're getting less than 1/10 of the amount of omega-3 fatty acids that's required for optimal health and longevity.
Amazing. So in other words, by having such a deficiency, you can take all the vitamins and everything you want, but until we get this omega-3 up to par in our systems, it's like putting oil in a car and not running it anyways.
Well, that's an excellent analogy. I mean, how many of us would run our cars on 10% of the oil that's required to operate the engine? I mean, many of us are treating our cars better than we're treating our bodies. And the omega-3 fatty acids are as critical for our health, our well-being, and our longevity as engine oil is to an automobile.
Amazing. Now, let me ask you another question, though. So what is the government or anybody doing about this? Do they know there's a deficiency out there? I mean, if they do know there's a deficiency out there, why don't they, government agencies or other agencies, say, let's add these nutrients to get our health back up to par again? Are they not doing that?
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
First of all, in regards to deficiency, there's been blood testing of Americans to determine our level of deficiency. And what's been found by extrapolated blood evidence is that at least 20% of the population, 20% of Americans, has undetectable blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids. Wow. They can't be found. And the remaining 80% of Americans were at least 80% deficient in these omega-3 fatty acids. What's happening in the U.S. today is there are some meetings. Dr. Artemis Simopoulos, she's the president of the Center for Nutrition and Health in Washington, D.C. She held a meeting in Washington, D.C. last year to determine minimal amounts of omega-3 fatty acids that we should have in our diet. She is proposing that we have this mandated, that this is added, and that we get these in our daily diet. In Canada, they've already made this requirement. We're finding that in infant formulas, they're completely devoid of these vital omega-3 fatty acids that are critical for the development of the brain, the spinal column, and the nervous system in infants. And we know that infants that have omega-3 fatty acids in their diet, either through the breast milk or through supplementation, are more intelligent, they're better behaved, they do better in school, their grades are better, and their attendance is better as well.
Incredible.